is me, Danny Bonaduce, life coach. You should give me a call right now at 1-800-252-1025, or we will gladly read your emails if you send me one. Lifecoach at KZOK.com. I'll do that again, lifecoach at KZOK.com. Life Coach brought to you by Goldberg Jones Divorcemen. Call 1-800-DIVORCE. Let's start with Tim in Tacoma. Good morning, Tim.
Good morning. My question for you, I wanted to ask how you was successful with quitting smoking. I started when I was 12, stealing them from the old man, and
Right.
it's been a 24-year deal now. I've tried the patch. I tried the gum. That was nasty. I've tried Chantix. I've tried cold turkey. I've tried the vaporizer. Any advice you may have?
Yeah,
I know
do.
you've overcome bigger addictions than that in your lifetime.
You know what? To be honest with you, I don't know that there was a bigger addiction in my lifetime. I think the death of a smoker versus that of a drunk was just going to be longer and prolonged and even worse. So I don't think, and by the way, if you ask me and if you ask anybody I know, they will tell you quitting smoking was the hardest. And, you know, on any given moment, like when I step out to get in my car every day in the parking garage, I don't smell alcohol and go, oh, I wish I could have a drink, but there's usually a guy having a cigarette out there. 100 times a day, there's somebody having a cigarette in some place that seems, that'd be a great place to have a cigarette. So I think that cigarettes are as hard as they can go. So you've tried every single way that you can think of to quit. So I'm going to try this. You didn't mention one, and they have some success with this at AA. They also have some success with this at Weight Watchers and things like that. And that is on all your, if you try to quit smoking, you can buy the patch, which I loved the patch. It didn't completely get me off cigarettes. I thought the gum was good. It didn't get me completely off cigarettes. But on either one of those, and you can also just go online, find a support group. That apparently is super beneficial. So if you try any of these methods, including cold turkey, I don't recommend that one. I personally recommend the patch to give you a good, clear answer. And then a support group where you can go and I don't know what you say at one because I've never been to one, but I've been to plenty of support groups another way. You go, hi, my name's Tim and I'm a chain smoker. And they say, hi, Tim, but you're somebody to be accountable to and somebody that's had it just as bad as you have had it. And you get to tell your story. You get to hear a story. And I always said this about AA. No matter how bad I wanted to drink, if I could get to an AA meeting, I could get home and I'd be all right for that day. I'm guessing the same goes true with a non-smoker's meeting. You get in, you hear the horrible stories, you hear the guy who already lost a lung, you're saying how much it costs these days, now you can't run like you used to and chase the kids or whatever your thing is. You get to tell that back and forth. I'm betting you can get home and not smoke a cigarette for the rest of that day. And the other thing is don't hide any in the house and don't hide any around the block. I used to do that. I'd buy a pack on the way to work and then throw them out before I got to work. On my way home, I'd be looking in the gutters. Don't do that. Go get and that's my key answer for you to quit smoking. Any way you want to work will work if you try hard enough, but the support group is something you didn't try, and I recommend it. Thanks, Tim.
If you've got a question for the life coach, call now because he can help you. 800-252-1025. Mike and Everett, you're on with Danny Bonaduce.
Hi, Mike.
Hey, Danny, how are you?
I'm very well. Thank you for asking. How are you?
Good, thanks.
What can I do for you?
My question is, I have a new wife. We've been married for 5 months, and her stepkids are in their 20s, and they use her for babysitting and getting loans.
Right.
And then we don't hear from them again until they need something.
Well, I gotta tell you something. They're probably not as bad as you think they are. That's almost the responsibility of 2/3 of kids today. They're going to take the path of least resistance, and that's your wife. I would do very little for 7 more months. Is that how long it'll be? It's been a year. I don't think you should comment on her kids for at least the first year, but then you can't take it. It'll become a huge fighting thing more often than not. And they're not your kids, but they're also adults. They don't need to be disciplined. They need to get better jobs. They can take care of the thing and hire a babysitter. And you need to let your wife know when you bring this up, and you should bring this up, that sometimes it's probably her joy to babysit. And therefore, be happy to do it, sweetheart. It's not them taking advantage of you. Calling it the last minute and just dumping their kids off on you, that's taking advantage. So give her grandma rights to watch these kids when she wants to. But she needs to know that her money is our money now, and that you're not voting for giving it to the kids that don't treat her well. And I think you bring this to attention, the way this looks to you and the way you feel about it. I wouldn't come down real hard on this for like I said another few months. Wait till you're married at least a year. But you got to bring this to her attention that you feel this way, and they're not going to step in her way of seeing her grandkids, but that they're just manipulators and taking advantage of her good nature. And I think she'll come around. Good luck there, Mike.
Still time for you to get through to the life coach at 800-252-1025. Roy, calling from Roy.
It's Roy and Roy. What up, Roy?
How's it going?
It's all good.
What's up?
What can I do for you?
So I have a question. Here's what's going down. So I've been working at the same construction company for about 2 years, and about a year ago, I went and took an aptitude test for a union job.
Right.
And they just called me out of the blue, a few days ago, and so I have to go in for a drug test on Tuesday.
Right.
And I smoke marijuana. And I want to know what do you think I should do?
Well, first of all, where do you get the marijuana?
Where?
Yeah.
Dispensaries.
Okay, so everything about your marijuana is legal.
Yeah.
So, and this is a new question. I thought the question was going to be how do I get out of this? And by the way, the answer, there's a couple answers, but marijuana, it's going to be in your system when you take this drug test. When are you taking it? Tuesday. And when was the last time you smoked pot?
A few days ago.
Yeah. Here's what I'm going to give you the best advice that I can, and usually it would be to lie, cheat, steal. There's a way to rig them and stuff. But marijuana is legal now, and I'm betting on a lot of money that your boss probably if he doesn't smoke it daily, was smoking it a couple years ago. Do you know the drugs schedule at your new job? Do they have something implemented?
I don't know. I know it's a good job.
Yeah, no, I would say that the answer here, and the answer is almost never, to be honest. The answer is almost always lie. But yeah, marijuana is legal. Everybody does it. That isn't a thing where, well, everybody does it, so it must be right. It's literally, oh, your boss is just going to say, oh, yeah, doesn't matter. We don't care. You're probably not going to run into a jam on this one. So I would say don't take the chance on rigging the test. I would go right in there, loud and proud, and say, hey, you know what? Didn't know I was going to have a drug test. I smoke pot. Is that a thing? And they'll tell you or not. It's not like you're going to show up to dirty for heroin. Hey, I do a little heroin on the weekend. Is that a thing? Well, the answer is yes. For marijuana, it's legal here. It's a federal thing, and nobody's doing that one right now. So go on, Roy, I'm telling you right now, tell the truth, and it will set you free.
Let's put you on now with Paul calling from Seattle. Paul, you're on with Danny Bonaduce, life coach.
Hey, Paul.
Hey, Danny. How you doing?
I'm very well, thanks. What's up?
Oh, not much. Me and my old lady split up after 30 years.
Wow.
And I don't know what to do to get her back.
Well, right up the bat, I'm going to say love her, but don't be a psychopath here. So you guys broke up. How unpleasant was it?
Just a few arguments, and then boom.
And did she leave you?
No, she asked me to leave.
She asked you to leave. Did she give you a clear reason?
No, just she's tired of it. She's tired of arguing, and I'm tired of arguing.
Okay, well, that's the thing you're going to do. She's not... how old of a woman is she?
She's 59.
She's 59 years old, brother. Everything's going to be all right, because I can tell you're bummed. She is not running off into the arms of another suitor, which is a thing that would be driving me crazy. This is a 59-year-old woman. Here's what you're going to have to... You're going to have to earn her back. You're going to start with date night out. No matter what happens, don't argue about anything. If she says the earth is flat, you say, I know, isn't that weird? There's no reason to argue. You can get back into your arguing life later. But the answer to this one, how do I get my wife of 30 years back, is you earn her back. And as you swallow your pride, you go out on dates. She's 59 years old. This is not, you know what? She has a rhythm to her life by now, and you're in it. She wants to come home. She just wants things different. And that's the main thing you need to take away with you, Paul, is she wants to come home desperately. She just wants a few changes, and you're going to show her you can make that. And the next thing you know, you're going to call me up and go, Danny, I did exactly what you said. You were right. Now we live together, and life is yummy. And you'll say yummy, because that's what we say. Good luck there, Paul.
Michelle and Everett, you're the next caller on Danny Bonaduce, life coach.
Hi, Michelle.
Hi, Sunshine.
What can I do for you?
You can tell me how to deal with my crazy mother-in-law. She's manipulative, and I can't get my husband to understand this.
So you've got a husband whose mother-in-law is meddling in your life?
Oh, no, just meddling in his life.
Oh.
She pretends that, he's not married and doesn't have children or great-grandchildren.
Your husband has great-grandchildren?
No, I'm sorry, my mother-in-law does.
There you go. So here's the thing, because I don't like her. She's a pain. And to be honest with you, all my calls are precious and on government stuff. But here's the exact complaint I get more often than not is my mother-in-law doesn't even notice he's married. Like, they live their lives like their little boy has not gone and got married. You're going to have to make this a personal thing. So you've brought it to his attention. He doesn't do anything about it?
Yeah, we've talked about it. And he says, well, I'm just giving back for everything they did for me. Well, that's fine, but there comes a point you've got to do and deal with your family, your immediate family first.
Well, there's, what you said, your best advice to you, and I think you need to, bring this home to him and let him know in whatever way you can, the best way possible, but that this is happening to you. And then with that, you need to say, you know what, it's going to change your personal life a little bit if she's just in your head, and when you close your eyes, you see the mother-in-law and it's driving you crazy. The implication there is, can I just ask you a very personal question? Are you guys intimate on a fairly regular basis?
Yes, we are.
Okay, stop that. I'm tippy-toeing around this answer. I know the answer, but it's kind of embarrassing. And every guy in the world is like mad at me that I'm giving this advice. There's one thing that you control more than anything, and that is step the sex back by half. And that means he's still getting some, only by a half. And you watch how fast he comes around and gets, I was going to say gets off your back, but that would sound weird by now. But that, I swear to God, I know it sounds punkish of me, but that's exactly what I do. I'd say if I had a husband that was really into getting sex all the time and something's got to change, I'm going to change that. That's absolutely what I would do. Men would say, don't ever do that. It's a terrible idea. It's a fine idea. No, don't use sex as a weapon. Yes, use sex as a weapon. It's a great weapon. So do it as I say, not as I do, Michelle. Good luck.
Got time for an email on Danny Bonaduce, life coach. Mary in Seattle has sent an email. I've been married for 22 years. I recently found a lottery ticket that had the name of my husband and the name Melanie written on the top with a heart. Melanie is a bartender at the bar he frequents. I asked him about it, and he said, there's nothing going on. Yesterday, he stopped by the bar and warned her that I might be stopping by to talk to her. If nothing is going on, why would he warn her? What should I do?
There's a couple things. One is he's lying to you. He's lying to you, and this is no good. Two, and that is, this is kind of perfectly innocent. He and his bartender thought we're going to go in on this thing together if we won $120 million. The heart thing's a little weird, but I still see it. I think you can make out of this exactly as much as you want to and nothing more. If you start to think that he's got plans with the local bartender to win some money and break free, then you've got a serious problem. If you think there's a chance he had a couple of drinks and she's trying to get better tips, I'm not immediately, and it's in writing. I realize I should be all mad, but I'm not mad. And the reason he would warn her, I've done this one, although I was way more wrong than your husband is being when I did this. I said, my wife's going to come in, because nobody wants the scene. Nobody wants anybody taken off guard. I'm going to suggest until you see further evidence, because this isn't that much evidence. If you haven't noticed all sorts of things, a guy having an affair leaves all sorts of smoke trails, man. If that's the only thing you've noticed, I think it's an innocent thing with the bartender. Yeah, he shouldn't have done it. He's married. He shouldn't be flirting with the bartender, but people do. It is not the end of the world. You don't have the problem that you think you do. Good luck on that one, and thank you to everybody that has called me up. That's all the time we have for Life Coach today. Life Coach brought to you by Goldberg Jones Divorce for Men. Call 1-800-DIVORCE.